What's up? What's up? This is the Self-Do It Podcast, the Wednesday crew. Appreciate y'all supporting the pre-show. This is really, really live now. We're really here. Much love to the chat. Much love to Soul Nation. I figured I tried that strategy because when I have the panel on here, I want to, engage with their thoughts more. And so I got a chance to get my thoughts out to y'all. Shout out to Real Talk in the chat. Maria, Music City, Amari, see Kevin Davis. Everyone, appreciate y'all engaging with those polls. Was doing in the chat as well too. That kind of warmed us up a little bit. Fernando, what's good? Mr. J. Since I already did my commercials and stuff, I can just get the panel in here. That worked out better than I thought here. We got Speedy driving through the multiverse. What's going on?
That's right. What's going on, everybody?
All right. Let's see. I'm trying to get my stuff together here. Even if I have a head start, I still can't get this together here. We got Jules.
It's hard, man. It's hard to do a live show.
What's up, everybody?
Hey, Jules, I decided I may be going for the Dodgers. I mean,
man. Civil War on Wednesday already. Wow.
I don't know how we're going to get past this.
Still chose violence.
All right, so I see you. Put you on my shit list here.
Well, I don't want to be there, so I may change it now. We got Danny coming through here. What's going on, Danny?
What's up? Fourth look for the Halloween season.
Yeah.
Hey.
Vulcan. Got my Delta on.
It looks awesome. What was your look last week? Because we didn't do our show last week. So
vampire. You missed it? Do you pay zero attention to anything I do? Because I post pictures.
I'm pretty sure Danny posted pictures with some fangs.
Yeah, I had full prosthetic.
Oh yeah,
on.
With the blood. Yeah.
She was a vampire. You missed it.
No, I did catch that. Yeah, on YouTube I saw your picture. You posted.
I was exhausted for a full day after that. It took all day. It's sweaty.
Great work though with that. I do.
Thank you.
With your current look and. Let's get Jibber. And with your current look is great. I do remember seeing that one last week. I do, yeah. Now that I remember, yeah. Wow, it's deep. So a few topics that we touched on today. Again, those of y'all caught the pre-show, y'all kind of have an idea of the topics, but we want to include the panel to get their thoughts on stuff. We are beaming this over, obviously, on YouTube. Make sure you smash the like. Make sure you still subscribe. X Twitter. We're all over there, and we're on Danny's platforms as well too, YouTube, Twitter. So support for sure. Now, I don't know if y'all caught any of what I threw out there earlier, but let's get to the main thing.
I was scared. I thought I was late.
Yeah, I should have sent y'all a memo hey, I'm running this video real quick. Yeah. Anyway, I'm terrible. Blade. Everyone's talking about Blade. Is it canceled? It's been removed from the release schedule of 2025 completely, not placed anywhere else. And just really the question is do you feel is Blade cooked? Is really the question. Speedy, what are you thinking with that? It's been removed. It hasn't been placed anywhere else yet.
I definitely think it's on a long-term hiatus until it makes sense to finally put back into pre-production or whatever they call it in the movie business. But it doesn't look good. I don't know if we're gonna get another Blade project before our lifetime. Still, well,
Well, it may take another 5 years, but it's never good.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go finish your thought.
No, you're fine. I'm just saying it's not good. Okay. It was removed for sure. I don't think that's
no, it's not. But since the next saga that MCU is working on is technically the mutant saga, right? And I guess under a technicality, Blade is a mutant.
No.
he was born with his powers.
But
he was born with his powers. He's half human.
Technically,
but he doesn't have the X gene, and that's what Marvel considers a mutant.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Gotta have
Oh,
I got one nerd on
the
the panel.
MCU is gonna do whatever they want, Danny. Don't shoot down my theory yet, okay?
Well,
Well,
they did
it's
make
done
Kamala
been
Khan a
shot.
mutant. You know, they
You know,
totally
they-
just made Miss Marvel a mutant.
yeah,
like, right
Yeah,
yeah.
and they actually so G. Willow Wilson said that she actually wanted Miss Marvel to be a mutant when she first made her. But Marvel was like, "Oh, see, we've lost all our rights to Fox and we don't want to give them more material. So
Right.
you can't make her a mutant. You have to make her an Inhuman." And she was like, "What? I don't want to do that." But she had to make her an Inhuman. So they got the rights back. So they were able to make her a
Then they
mutant.
said, "Presto changeo, you're a mutant now."
You
That's
are
what they
now a
did.
mutant.
Yeah.
That's what they did.
Yeah.
But,
So, stranger things have happened,
yeah, I mean, so as far as the fact that the blade is the film cooked, Danny, though, since you want to pull all your old comic books and stuff on, it's like we just want to know about the blade.
Oh, I think Mahershala's done. I think he's done. I love him. You know how much I love Mahershala Ali. I've loved him since 2003. But
exactly since then.
4400, man, he was amazing. Grab my heart right then and there. But he's getting older, and from what I've heard, Marvel considers him difficult to work with. They consider him difficult to work with because he had a lot of stipulations that they were like, "Come on, dude.
But
can we just pick a
maybe
good
rightly
person
so,
to do this or that?" Maybe rightly so. I don't
Yeah.
know the down dirty details 100%. I had heard that I had heard a lot about he kept throwing scripts back saying no, don't like it. No. I don't know what those scripts look like, but that gave me a little bit of confidence. Like, dude, yeah.
Well,
you tell them bring me back something better. But then I
wasn't one of those scripts Bo DeMaio, wasn't it?
Bo never even made it to Mahershala. He never
No,
Mahershala's eyes never even So then I started hearing that he had a lot of stipulations for those who worked on the film based on their religious preferences because of his view, his belief systems. He wanted more people to work with him that had the similar belief systems, and Marvel's like, well, that's kind of discrimination, dude. We can't do that. But I don't have like hard proof.
Allegedly
is
what Danny is saying.
This is absolutely. You know me. Unless I experience it for myself. Unless I experience it for myself, it will always be allegedly.
Yeah, but you think it's pretty cooked. So Jules, how you feeling about this? Is Blade cooked?
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised. Like Danny said, it's been a long time. Mahershala is aging. This is pretty much a young man's game.
Yeah.
And if he is, sending scripts back to Marvel, like, I don't blame him. We've seen the stuff they've been producing lately, and it's not top tier. So I could just imagine how bad those scripts must be. And at the same time, still, as soon as I left the movie of Wolverine versus Deadpool, one of the first things I told you was, there's probably some kind of voodoo witchcraft going on with Blade. Because the only Blade we've ever seen is Wesley Snipes on the big screen, and now we're getting this news. So, maybe his little quote was for a reason. There's only one Blade, and we know.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
I've heard that. I've seen that posted so much in the last 24 hours. Like, I'm going to throw up if someone says that again.
Marvel's notorious down to things that make money, So, maybe the social media buzz of Wesley Snipes being Deadpool Wolverine and the response to it made them make a hard decision, including all the things that Danny talked about, their woes in pre-production and trying to write a script that Mahershala Ali would like.
It's a shame because Mahershala would probably be the only logical replacement to Wesley Snipes that we would all love.
Logical. Yeah, logical.
Okay. So I mean,
We need like a counter on the screen.
I don't know what that's about.
I'm a
but yeah,
Vulcan. Logical.
Good.
And never
I
mind.
know deep cut. Yeah. He's not
but
tripping.
anyway, going
I'm
back
not
to
either.
Mahershala's Blade.
R.I.P. R.I.P. Blade would have been movie.
Yeah, it would have been great.
R.I.P. We knew you well or not.
Oh, actually, what I was
We
gonna say
barely
was
knew you.
just going
We
back to what
barely knew
Speedy
you.
was saying. Going back to what
What'd you
Speedy
say,
was
Drew?
saying, actually, Wesley Snipes having such a positive reaction to the fans as Blade, it probably actually made the decision a little bit easier to move on from Mahershala Ali and probably
Yeah, I think for certain we're going to see Wesley Snipes again. I mean, the people want it. You know, Ryan Reynolds is pulling for him, so it's kind of a wrap. I think you're going to get Wesley Snipes. But as far as Mahershala Ali, until we hear for sure that he pulled out, I'm going to hold out hope that he's going to do his Blade project. May not be anytime soon. I'll just say that. We'll probably talk about that.
Especially if Ryan Reynolds produces and doubles down and says this is going to be the greatest movie
you're
ever.
seeing Wesley
What?
again. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's no way that we would not see Wesley Snipes anymore. You got to do that again. So we'll see what comes up with that. And definitely it will be a missed opportunity, like I said, overall, if they don't use him. Now, speaking of, I guess it's not a missed opportunity. They got all these opportunities. A trilogy, the Venom 3 trilogy, Last Dance is opening this week. I didn't get an early screening of it yet, so hopefully
Me neither.
I did.
But Danny, you did this time.
I know. I was so excited.
So I'm gonna get the general thoughts in just a moment, Danny, because there's a first reactions are out, so you can give your first reactions legally as well, exclusive here on the channel and her channel as well. First reactions came out across social media, and on my pre-show, I highlighted some of our favorite shields. Hyping up this film and saying it's the greatest thing ever. It's a popcorn movie and things like that. Now, full disclosure, like I'm looking forward to the film. I didn't really like the first one that well. The second one's a little better, and I want to see how they end this off. You hear about Noel and stuff like that, so let's see, right? But according to the positive first reactions, do you believe the Venom 3 hype? Danny will go last because she's actually seen it. We'll start with Jules because I don't know what Speedy. I don't know if he parked his car or something.
Gotta be careful. No, I don't believe the hype. I mean, it's it is what it is. It's just another Venom movie. It's gonna be the same old, from the first two films. I'm sure it's if you just want to be entertained and just throw something on TV, like yeah, sure. If it's like on TNT or something, that's like one of those kind of movies that you watch. But am I gonna go out of my way to go to the theater to pay for this? No.
No. I'll say like until Speedy gets back. I'll say like I said, I'm looking forward to it. I do see kind of the playbook of all these first reactions, like oh, it's a popcorn movie, it's fun, turn your brain off. I'm seeing too many like several people saying the same words, so I'm like
that's usually a bad sign. Turn your brain off.
You're kind of selling me, right?
Opinions? Okay.
You turn your brain off, but like pay your money. I'm looking for just dumb fun because that's what part 2 was to me overall. I appreciate Kevin Davis putting the global box office prediction. 450 for the run, but 150 globally for opening weekend. Now, domestically, I'm not sure how much that would be domestically, probably 60, 70, something like that. So that's interesting in itself. And again, before we get Danny's thought, Speedy, have you heard any of the first reactions of Marvel, the Venom 3? They're saying it's a dumb popcorn film. Have fun. Do you believe the hype that it's just it's a fun film, Speedy?
I believe it. I trust Danny's judgment, and I think it's fun. And Venom 2, for all its faults, was still entertaining. So, I look forward to the third one. Do I expect miracles like Oscar, like amazing, mind blowing movie? My expectations are always low with Venom. So I'm pretty sure I'll enjoy it. You know, I'm sure it's good fun and you know, a good time with the movies, and I'm always down for that.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm gonna check it out for sure. And so, let's get the general thoughts, Danny. You know, spoiler free.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
Until like after I'll bother you after the camera's off. But no. But what was your initial impressions of?
I liked it. Listen, this is a Venom movie. All right, it is a Venom movie. There's a lot of action. It's a lot of monster fights. Okay, it's a monster fight movie. It's going to be what you expect in that regard. There were a couple silly things where I was like, I mean, and they're super minor. They're super, super, super minor. But all in all, I had a good time. I enjoyed myself. There were some laugh out loud moments where I heard like everyone in the theater laugh. There were a couple times where I heard everyone in the theater clap. Like, yeah, that was great. So I enjoyed it. I had a good time.
Yeah.
So
what was your thoughts of the, you know, like part 1 and part 2 up to now? Like, were you in this franchise like really anticipating it, or?
Well, first of all, I am a middle-aged woman, and that is Tom Hardy. So I will watch that man read the phone book. Okay. And love every second of it. No, I'm just kidding. Yes, that too.
No, you're not playing.
But no, I'm not playing. That man is hot.
He is.
He is. Yes, he is.
So the movie.
But the movie, yeah, the movie. I liked the first two. I like the first two. And I can't say like I'm, you know, head over heels for that franchise because Venom's never been my, you know, in my go-to list of superheroes that I'm like, oh, I love Venom. Like that's never been my bag.
Unless it's Tom Hardy.
Unless it's Tom Hardy. That's a different story. But I do like them, and I was like, yeah, I want to see that. I've seen the first two. I enjoyed them. You know, I had fun watching them, and this time I got to take a couple people with me, and we enjoyed it. Like I would look over at them to see how, because they're normies. They're straight up normies. My nephew had never seen any of the other Venom movies, and they were both loving it. They both had an absolute great time. His mom, my best friend, she's seen both the movies. All the Venom movies now. So she went in with, you know, some education on it, but she's also a normie. Eli, that boy loves Hamilton. Okay. Let me just be frank here. Hamilton is his favorite movie. So no knowledge whatsoever, but he still enjoyed it. Not, you know, going in, not knowing anything. So you had one normie who has seen the movies, liked the third one normie who's never seen the other movies, liked the third one, and a comic book person who's seen all the movies, and I enjoyed it. So we kind of covered the demographic there.
They may have done what they need to do is a wide range of audience, you know, general audience, overall. I mean, all these films have made money for them, so
yes,
this only costs about 120. So I mean, they're gonna.
And Tom Hardy was one of the writers. He's one of the writers on the film. He's the executive producer. Like this is all Tom Hardy, and he did a good job. It was a nice little send off. It was a nice rounded out, or whatever.
According to and I'm gonna ask you something else. I'm gonna try to keep it non-spoiler, but I'm gonna ask you something in a second here. But according to I was talking about the projections for opening weekend. It's probably 70 million or a little under 70 million, which is technically a franchise low for the property. But again, word of mouth, and like I said, you get enough general normies that just has fun with it. I think that's what it's been anyway. This trilogy has been. So I want to ask you though, Danny, like there was a lot of rumors, and we're not going to directly address the rumor, but should people kind of put their expectations down as far as like, oh, this is like maybe setting this up and this up? It's like
I would keep your expectations relatively low about that. I mean, there's a little bit, I guess. I don't know what to say without
right. I know that was a fair
spoilers,
question, but
but I would keep your expectations low as far as if it's setting something up.
Right. And I mean,
So,
Last Dance kind of implies,
and he has said many times, this is his last Venom movie.
the
This is
last
it.
dance,
This is the last
like
one.
final. What's
Mhm.
another sentence? Last, final, like complete,
Definitive. It's the definitive.
no more. Nothing. But but not to say there could be like some, we kind of heard there was some public stuff about a character that's in there that Marvel wants to use next. So I believe that's going to happen. But people just thought there was going to be this huger crossover that I don't think it's going to be in this film. So
There is a slight crossover.
slight.
Very, very
Your
slight.
definition of slight, yeah, it could be, yeah. So
Yeah,
like a
it's
wide range of
very,
slight.
very, very slight.
Oh, Speedy back. Speedy. Hey, what's up, Speedy?
What's up?
So we got Danny. She spoiled the entire movie, so let's continue.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Yay!
Yeah.
That's what we needed. Now, speaking of what I don't know if we needed, and maybe I'll get tomatoes thrown at me for this, but in my pre-show, I was talking about John Wick. They were, we got the ballerina spinoff, which that trailer looked great with Ana de Armas. That looked great, actually, that trailer. But they want to do a spinoff of like the Johnny Yen, I think I'm saying his name right. That looks good. Then they had this Continental series, which I don't know if anyone really watched that. They got another series they want to do, Under the High Table. There may have a John Wick 5 story. I don't know. An anime. They do the question. This is the question because I'm running on here. Is this John Wick overkill? Now, if they're going to do all these spinoffs and try to do projects without John Wick, or are they trying to replace him? John Wick 4 was great. I thought John Wick 4 was a great way to actually end that story. But Speedy, do you think hearing about these other spinoffs, like, should they kind of stop?
Man,
like,
you know what? Let me talk about the Continental, where we talk about spinoffs, okay?
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed watching the Continental. It does have faults. It's not a perfect project. But for what it is, for a spinoff of John Wick and the John Wick universe, I enjoyed it very much. I thought it was actually a lot better well done than it was actually reported to be, the quality to be reported. So I was very surprised and pleasantly surprised when I finally watched it. I was like, yeah, you know what? This was actually a good show. I watched every episode. I didn't complain about it. Even if I didn't like something, I thought everything still, I thought as overall the show, it was well done. Now this is a movie project, and I like to come back to this universe. I think this universe is fun. From my experience with the Continental,
fun.
Yeah, it's an ongoing theme, fun.
Now the Continental, since you're familiar with it, Speedy, like I really didn't watch it that much, but
yeah.
I mean, it's like a direct tie into the films, or how is that?
It's like it's a prequel. It's a prequel. So this is the manager and of course I'm forgetting the names of the characters, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not such a big a fan as you thought I was. Okay, but
the janitor.
I digress. They're all as a prequel of and a window into how those people who are in charge of the Continental and the John Wick universe now became in power. So and they kind of left it in a way that they could continue to make more of the Continental.
Yeah,
if they wanted to.
Chad Stahelski, that's what he was saying. Like, they got so many ideas, but he's afraid to kind of tackle just like a direct sequel because it's like, again, I mean, I think they nailed everything in part 4. Like, I don't know, there's nothing else they could do. Like, especially that over the head shotgun moment. Like, it's really cool stuff.
It's great, and of course, it's all the fighting is all John Wick, quality, entertaining stuff. So.
So, I mean, then you got the prequel anime. I mean, Jules, you're pretty big in John Wick. I don't know if me and you talk about John Wick a lot, but
we haven't talked about it much. I mean, I'm not like a major fan of John Wick. I do appreciate John Wick. I know it's a good movie. I've seen a couple of. I can't say I watched all 4, but yeah, hearing about all these other projects, it does sound like an oversaturation to me. Like, I feel like everything popular now is just being overly done.
Yeah.
And that does have me concerned. And I don't know if people are that interested in John Wick if Keanu Reeves is not part of it. It's just he was the main draw. Like, let's be for real.
Yeah.
True. Fernando says Continental was trash, Speedy. Actually,
It's not perfect. It's not a perfect. It's not perfect.
I gotta forget
not
everything
a perfect
you said.
film.
It's not perfect.
I'm erasing what you said about it. No, the fourth one was
one's
really
fire.
good. Though,
Oh yeah, then there's no doubt.
Which one with Common? Is that the second one? Parabellum?
I think it's the third one.
That's the third one.
I could be wrong.
Where's your John Wick knowledge, Danny?
Not too much. That's a Dave movie, so I watch it with Dave. That's like one of the movies that we can actually watch together. So I like the action and stuff, and he seems pretty impressed with the pretty accurate depiction of weapon usage and weapons. Like that makes him very happy. So that makes me think, and he's very difficult to please. So that leads me to believe, oh, this must be pretty good. So, and again, Gen X woman, love Keanu Reeves. Come on, I'll watch anything with him in it, even the Bill and Ted threequel.
A total theme here.
Listen, men are beautiful creatures. Okay.
They can be when they put in the effort.
They absolutely can be. And I appreciate you and effort.
They put in the effort.
But no, he's Keanu Reeves. And it's
Keanu's like the coolest man in the world. Yeah, Keanu
he's like mad chill.
He's like the internet's boyfriend, isn't he still? Isn't that a thing? Like he's like the coolest, most grounded, sweetest person in the whole wide world. He donated his salary from the Matrix. Donated it. His whole pay, donated it. Still rides the subway. I mean, the man is a treasure.
He seems like very normal too. Like not too over caught up. Like at the San Diego Comic-Con, which I got a chance to go to.
Oh, have you? We haven't heard of that.
He came on the stage and like, the crowd just going crazy. Just, oh my God, you're Keanu Reeves, and he's just like, everyone calm down. Like he's like, Let's relax here.
I mean, he was supposed to be a hockey player. He wanted to be a hockey player, and then he, hurt himself and couldn't continue on pro. And then he wanted to be a rock star, and that didn't work out. So he became an actor. And after he became an actor, what did he do? He started a band and then played hockey. Like I love him for that. I absolutely love him for that. And
he became.
He dates within his age range too. Like that doesn't happen in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah, we find that out more and more lately. But what's up?
No Diddy talk today. I'm not emotionally prepared.
I didn't say it. But he has this berserker thing going on. I really do gotta pay more attention to that because they're doing.
Oh yeah, the comic books.
I read the first one. I've read the first handful of them.
How was it? I haven't read them.
Interesting. It's like if John Wick and Highlander had a baby.
Oh yeah,
yeah, something like that.
I like both of those.
That sounds good, actually.
Yeah,
that sounds really good.
But there's only one. There is already instead of being a bunch of immortals, there's only one already.
The only one. Good. If people get that. But no, I think anything with Keanu Reeves will work, but like I said, with the main John Wick story, you probably shouldn't use him anymore, his character, because you wrapped up his story. He is having a cameo in the Ballerina film, the Ana de Armas film, and that trailer. If I haven't seen that trailer yet, like that kicks a lot of butt. That's a really good trailer.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna check out that movie. To be honest with you,
yeah, I'm definitely checking that out.
Who doesn't love Ana de Armas? I mean, she's that is a beautiful woman. Okay. And she's awesome. Remember that dude straight up sued over her not being in that movie, what was it? The Beatles movie, where he went back into a world where the Beatles didn't exist. And he got Yesterday. That's the name of it. She was in the trailer, but she wasn't in the movie. And this guy was so pissed about it. He sued. He sued over false advertising.
Specifically for her.
Yeah. He's
But
like, I paid money to see this movie, to see Ana de Armas, and she's not in it. That's false advertising. I'm taking it to the Supreme Court. And he totally did.
they hopefully they settled out because that is false advertising. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I had to see her in action first. Like, she's a beautiful person. You know, Ben Affleck, was with her before, so he has good taste.
Okay.
So it's like, I'm sure she's great, but then it's like this role, ballerina. I was like, I don't know if you can't just be all pretty out here now. You get a little dirty. And that trailer, man, whew, I would play it, but I don't feel like getting dinged right now. But that trailer is dope. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Carlos is seeing it for the plot. Yeah, it actually has a good story. It really does. It has a really good story in the trailer. And she's not trying to be like, well, I can't say she's not trying to be pretty. It's kind of like she just is, but she looks like she's getting physical in this. So that's good for her, I think. So we'll see. We'll see. John Wick Overkill is kind of a little split up here, but in the chat, I think people were fighting each other about that as well too. So I'm going to check out the anime project, Ballerina, the Donnie Yen project. I'm going to check all that stuff out. But don't continue his story. Don't just leave him out. I say let that be complete for once. So final topic here we want to bring up. There was a little Comic-Con event recently, the New York Comic-Con.
Just a little one.
So little thing was put out there. Now, quick plug for my Patreon. I covered the Daredevil Born Again trailer footage. We had a good time over on the Patreon talking about that. Looking forward to that show. I'll just briefly say this. Yeah, Daredevil Born Again. They're taking it back to the Netflix days. Like, it looks like brutal action. Like, it's back. You know what I'm saying?
Let's go. I'm here for it.
I'm looking forward to that. March 2025. I did put out there, this really ain't a scoop because people probably know they're doing a season 2.
Right.
But I heard about production for season 2. So, I mean, it's happening. So, whatever we heard before, it's happening. So, it's like, now, could that be the one with a little web crawler swinging through there? Probably. I don't know. We'll see. Season 2 with that. But something else that I don't know if it's going to have a split reaction or not with this, but James Gunn was at New York Comic-Con, and it was a lot of talk, if you look on social media, about the tone of these films. Is everything going to be like Creature Commandos? Is everything going to be like Peacemaker? Is that the same thing that I'm saying there? I don't know. But he clarified for once. He said this before, but he really needs to amplify this message because people are thinking everything's gonna be wacky and goofy. Superman's gonna be telling jokes and stuff like that. But I'll let him speak for himself here. They asked him about the DCU tone overall.
Right.
This to be very different from what Superman is going to be when that comes out. We want Peacemaker to be different from that when that comes out. But also, those are just the things I'm doing. Right now, Anna and Craig are dealing with Supergirl, and it's just going tremendously well. We have Chris and Damon and Tom who are dealing with Lanterns, getting ready to shoot that, and that's been amazingly well. So every one of those things is going to be very different. It's a connected universe, but we're not imposing any sort of overall aesthetic. And the Creature Commandos show is definitely its own thing, as you can see.
So interesting, quotes there, right there. And I just want to get y'all thoughts on this as I put this up here. We heard his comment there. Is James Gunn lying? Is the TCU tone going to be what he's saying, like according to each director? Or just really your thoughts. The questions.
I don't think he's lying because I think he can.
I think he believes what he says.
Yeah, he believes what he says. And I think when he commits to a tone, he keeps it that tone, and and that's just looking at his previous projects. But I do believe that Creature Commandos is bootleg Suicide Squad, or at least the Suicide Squad that he really wanted to do.
Did you see the trailer?
I did.
The trailer was dope. Like,
I was
really impressed.
Yeah, but I still believe he's self-gratifying, doing the story that he really wanted to do versus what he did.
I could see that the way that trailer was like, I was like, okay, he probably didn't go far enough as he wanted to in the film, and like he's going to do that in here.
And we already know the style because we've gotten it with Peacemaker, whether you liked it or not.
Right, and hopefully he does something different season 2. I wasn't a fan of season 1, all of it. I wasn't really.
I loved it.
Man. Well, yeah, we'll go Danny here. Then your thoughts on just him explaining a different tone. I mean, the question, because people were like, okay, like Marvel, everything. Now they're changing that now. Feige's kind of changing. You got Daredevil over here breaking arms and killing people and stuff. Well, he's not killing people, but then you're still gonna have your Spider-Man, Avengers stuff. That's what he wants DC to be as well. Danny, your thoughts on that? You think he could pull that off, like having a world where his Superman and Peacemaker can coexist?
I think so. I mean, it's not like all he's ever done are Guardians of the Galaxy movies. He has directed other things, and they were not Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
So I have faith that he is capable of making it different, and I think he knows he has to.
Yeah,
he absolutely.
That's the thing. He can't, because that's gonna be such an easy, like low hanging fruit. If he makes Superman and you doing these goofy jokes, like you ruined Vigilante to me and Peacemaker. But if you bring that to Superman, that ruins the film for me. If he does it,
yeah, and I think he knows that. He's a Superman fan himself. His dad was a big Superman fan, and a lot of the underpinning, if not the underpinning of this film, is a tribute to his late father. And I think that would be super weird if his tribute to his father was a bunch of penis humor,
Yeah.
That would be inappropriate. Yeah. If he,
like
if he did that.
Speaking as a woman who is from at least half by Irish family in South City, St. Louis, I can absolutely speak for how my parents would feel if I did something like that in tribute to them. My ass would be raw until the day I die, and then probably for half an eternity after that. So,
again, the way he described it is like, okay, I think he understands, because that's gonna be an automatic L if he doesn't figure out these tones. Jules, you mentioned that he believes what he says, Jules, but
I do. Yeah, he does.
You think he'll figure out the tones?
I think they'll be probably slightly different, but it's still going to feel like a James Gunn universe. I fully expect the Superman movie to be more of the tone of Guardians of the Galaxy, not necessarily so extreme like Peacemaker, which I did actually enjoy for what it was at the time. So,
are you like Peacemaker?
I did like Peacemaker.
Didn't know that about you. Okay. Yeah.
I did tell you this a long time ago.
I think
that says a lot.
the Superman's gonna have weirdly a Super Friends kind of tone to him. You know what I mean?
In a bad way?
I don't know, because then that becomes a like if I like Guinness beer or Corona, you know what I mean? It becomes a personal taste,
Well, hopefully you're picking Guinness, just in that example. I'm just saying.
I don't think James Gunn's version of Goofy is the same version of Goofy that we define it as.
What do you mean by that?
Like, people find Peacemaker goofy, right? Like, the whole show was pretty goofy,
right?
Even from the opening credits, like, you knew that show was gonna be goofy as hell with the goofy.
Well, yeah, that's goofy. Yeah,
dance, I don't think he finds it to be as goofy as we found it to be goofy.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, he's probably desensitized to goofiness.
Right, because that's just his style. That's his humor. So for him, it's normal. But for us, it's like, no, that doesn't really work. That's just too much.
And of course, it just might fail. It just might all fall flat on everybody's face, and it's going to be horrible. And we're going to be back here talking how disappointed and upset we are. And
I'll probably get some good views off that too.
Yeah, probably.
But with the
we start the fire sale of DC.
I mean,
again.
I'm saying next summer
again.
He definitely has to nail the tone, because it'll be an automatic L. You got Fernando worrying about his cryptocurrency apparently now. The crypto dog. Where is that okay? Let's start with Danny. Was that a red flag? Like, we're the tonal police now, I guess, over here. Like, having crypto, like, is that just automatic? Oh, this is goofy. Like, what you think?
I mean, the comic book world. I'm sorry to interrupt, Danny. The comic book world and different comic books have different tones, even in Marvel or even in Image, or wherever universe you want to pull from. Different comic book stories have different tones, and there's the Howard Ducks of the world and stuff. I think you got muted, Danny.
Oh, you muted? Oh, hold on. You're muted, Danny.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
I wanted to hear everything you said.
Yeah, you were all set and everything.
The different books are written by different people who have different styles and different tones themselves. So when it just doesn't make sense to keep it all the same when none of them really have the exact same vibe, the exact same tone. I don't think crypto is a red flag. I think that crypto is a part of Superman's legacy that is beloved by a lot of people. I don't think it's going to be a crazy, goofy thing. I mean, it has the potential to be. It absolutely does. But it's also James Gunn's dog that's playing crypto.
His dog.
Next to the word nepotism in the dictionary is probably a picture of James Gunn.
Absolutely.
Well, that's called saving money.
That too.
That's called budgeting. That's called we don't have to pay for a dog actor to come in. We can just use my dog.
Well, no, his dog passed away. He's using the dog's image as inspiration.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He adopted a new one. He wrote a whole story about it.
He adopted a new one.
Yeah. It's his dog. So one of the things I really do love about one thing I do love about James Gunn and the way he works is he came from Troma Studios, and Lloyd Kaufman is very well known for being able to stretch a dollar when it comes to production, making it look good for the little money they had. That's how he came up. That's how he was taught filmmaking, was work with what you have first and then start spending money. And that's what he's doing. He's using his own dog because it saves a lot of money that he can put elsewhere.
Yeah,
I guess that also explains the suits.
Makes sense. Yeah. Makes sense. But just to get back to the tones of comic books, technically, Fernando, this is what Marvel and DC or wherever comic book universe, that's what they're selling. They are selling all the different tones and all the different brands under their and stories under their umbrella. So if they have a sci-fi epic that just happens to be part of their universe, that's that tone. If they have an action adventure story that happens to be under that universe, that's the tone of that. If they have a dark and gritty street crime, anti-hero story, that's part of their umbrella for that too. So that's their brand. That's their brand. All those little different stories are part of their brand. So yeah, every single story is gonna have its own texture and theme. Look at what we're gonna get with Daredevil on the Marvel side. I mean, it's gonna be it's not the Marvels. We're getting.
Yeah, it's definitely Marvel's.
It's not even probably.
We gotta see these projects come out, Speedy. I think that's the thing. It's a lot of talking before anything even came out, and I think that's kind of a double-edged sword. Like, yeah, we want to know future projects, but we still won't know until we see it, right? And so I think once Creature Commandos, I like how Creature Commandos is looking. I think that's going to be pretty dope, actually. And then, but Superman, definitely has to be different. And I don't want to see any like Peacemaker type of stuff in Superman,
Right.
But we got to see it first. So.
Nor should you. You shouldn't want that in a Superman film. Superman is more reverent. It's more Boy Scout.
Yeah,
he's a Boy Scout.
And look at what the moves that the DC Studios is making. They came out with this Christopher Reeves documentary. Okay, we've already seen the behind the scenes, and they let come on, guys. They let those guys record You know, all those leaks were allowed from a certain point of view.
Of
Okay?
course.
If they really
Yeah.
wanted to lock that screen down, they would. You know, I think we're gonna get a very Christopher Reeves similar tone to the Superman in a world that he has to interact, in a Justice League or even Super Friends style, something fun, action adventure kind of tone Superman.
Fun.
Different from what we've got. We already got the the brooding Superman from the Zack Snyder, which is great. People like that, and I like that. But definitely to do what's the opposite of that, or something different. Somewhere in between.
Yeah, somewhere between Reeve and Cavill would be great for me.
Yeah, I mean, they tried going all out on the Reeve side.
The Superman and Lois is actually kind of in between. That tone is that Superman is kind of.
I think they're doing a great job.
Yeah,
Daddy
that's a really good
Superman. That's near perfect what they're doing.
Oh my God. I love that show. This season, this last season has been just gold standard. Gold standard. It's wonderful. The whole storyline with John just has a vice grip on my mom heart. Hard. Like, it's so good.
Yeah, that's a really good show. I mean, it's a shame they're ending it. They didn't want to put no more money into CW. If people weren't following that story, after they sold the rights to Warner Brothers sold the rights, their share to CW, they're divesting. And so the new owners, they're saying like, hey, can y'all still pay for these shows over here? Like, we over here,
No, that's why they throw everything up on Netflix. They're getting them the revenue back. They got to pay for these projects.
They get bank from Netflix. But Jules, you was kind of touching on again just the tonal thing and the crypto stuff. Like, you think that's too far, or what was you saying with that?
No, I was saying like they tried going the Reeves route with Superman Returns, but then it just turned into like super creepy Superman. So
creepy?
Well, yeah, he was like stalking Lois for a little while there,
And don't get me wrong, and Maria, I agree with you. It's not all broody, and it does have some very Superman-esque, traditional tones to the character in Zack Snyder's version. But there is some a little bit of brooding in the beginning. It's a little bit of self-reflection and trying to find himself.
Right. Well, no one's happy-go-lucky every day of their lives, right? Like in the movie, it was Superman like actually going through the motions, trying to figure out who he was, and obviously it's depressing if you don't know who you are and stuff like that. Like, yeah, Man of Steel was definitely a lot less broody than Superman Returns. Like that movie.
Yeah.
But
for
I
sure.
do think,
or definitely Batman versus Superman, Superman versus BVS. Superman was a little broody.
No, that was broody. I would give it that.
Probably to match
Earth One
Batman's
comics.
tone.
That's what Zach was bringing you. He was bringing you a comic actually. Depiction of Superman.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, he was out also like enemy number 1 to the planet, so of course that's depressing, right? Like you're just trying to help people and everybody like it's just
a little low. Yeah.
It wouldn't make any sense for
call
him
my
to
mom.
like happy-go-lucky Superman when like the whole world hates him. Obviously, like after Justice League, we would have probably saw him become that more traditional happy Superman, but we didn't get to see that. Whereas I do think James Gunn's Superman is just going to be happy all the time, and that's probably where it's going to be like, I want something a little bit more realistic.
Until we see it, Jules.
Until we see it.
He may
frown up trash, a little guys. Bit. It may be a big dumpster fire.
It may be very like, if that's your taste, like it's very specific. Just same way, like some people love Peacemaker, some people hated it. Like I haven't seen many that's like in between. This might be the same thing with Superman.
I may be in between. You like Peacemaker, right? You said, Jules.
I did like it for what it was. I mean, it was entertaining.
Yeah,
it wasn't anything like it's not winning any awards, but it was entertaining enough.
It's winning the most important award, Jules, and that is my heart.
Trying to turn off my brain. This is a theme here. We got the Venom. Turn off my brain.
Peacemaker is shh.
I mean, I think John Cena probably had a big part to play in that because, like, I don't know. He grew up with John Cena, so that was interesting to see him become an actor in a way. He actually did a really good job.
That's probably the best he's done.
So
Cena did great in there.
That's probably a big reason why I liked it, was because it was cool seeing John Cena in that, and he fit the role perfectly. Some people see. Time will tell.
No, I'm still in between, but yeah, it's convincing. Now with what they were saying with crypto, this one thing before we kind of start winding down. We got. I'm okay. There's a lot of reasons why people don't want this Superman film, and of course, you may not like James Gunn's style and stuff like that. So I totally get that. I mean, it's all subjective or whatever, right? Like whatever project. But people taking the issue of like Superman lore, that's just rubbing me the wrong way every time. Like when the Shield came out, oh, it's Kingdom Come Shield, it's trash. I'm like, huh? That's like one of the greatest Superman shields ever. And yeah, Gunn jacked it because it's Superman. Like I can't be mad about lore. So like with crypto, just the fact that crypto exists, like people are crashing out, and I'm just like, bro, like
that's so silly.
It's not like he made up the dog. Like
right,
crypto is.
He didn't say. It would be great if we added a talking dog. Can we make that up? Can we invent it? No, he didn't do that.
I mean, I would hope he doesn't talk. Like if the dog talks, that's like
no, I don't think it's gonna talk.
No, that's too much.
But
I think there's a talking squirrel.
That's a lantern, yeah. But with crypto, like the first reveal of it, that was a nice little picture he showed him, on the moon or something. That was cool, and I'm glad he didn't have like a big old red cape on crypto. Then I would have been like, okay, this is gonna be goofy. Like, he just had like a cool little collar. I think he has like the shield on it. I was like, oh, this may be a cool crypto. I don't know, but he exists. Like just like Jimmy Olsen, people was crashing out. Oh my God, he put Jimmy Olsen. I'm like, why is this a problem? Like Superman lore in Superman. I'm just saying. Anyway, let's go in the comments here. Any comments or questions? Go and throw it in the chat. Let's see. Today is Wednesday, so Danny, you have your watch party.
Got my watch party. We've only got this week and next week left on the Agatha series, and then I'm sorry, my allergies drive me crazy today. So we've got this week and next week for Agatha All Along. Then I'm going to take a couple weeks off because I'm tired and I'm old. And then we're going to pick back up November 17th with Dune Prophecy.
Ooh, okay.
So
cool.
I'm also finishing up. It'll probably be released tomorrow or Friday. My Crow breakdown and comparison between the graphic novel and 2 of the movies. So work on that forever.
So definitely, you do a good job with your breakdowns. We know that takes time. That definitely takes time to do all the editing and stuff. So great work with that. Again, check out Danny's channel. Links in the description. Comics and I think that's the tag, right?
Yeah, comics and the tag for the handle for YouTube is comics and everything.
Oh, okay. So I failed. Okay, gotcha. The comics and everything. Of course, Wednesdays are the worst for me. Like I would be there supporting my sis Danny. Y'all know I would be, but Wednesdays are the worst for me now. At the right time, that's fine. But because I am interested, I do want to catch some of your streams when you do that Dune Prophecy, or at least.
That's not on Wednesdays. Dune Prophecy is on Sundays.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, that's football though, so I'm not doing anything. It's only football. That's just how that goes.
And then I never saw Syl again.
Yeah, Sundays, like nowadays, Saturday is college football, so that's all day, right? So just no one call me. And then Sunday, same thing, football. Now you have the early. They play like overseas, like Sunday mornings now. So starting at 9, and we're like you just won't hear from me all day Sunday. So
and Monday Night Football. They're doing 2 games on Monday Night Football now.
It's kind of like hit or miss with that if they do 2, but it's not every. That'd be great if they do 2 Monday Night Football games. You got Thursday Night Football, Danny, and then so it's
Thanksgiving.
I'll never see Syl again.
Thanksgiving, I'll get my plate. I'll get like a really good plate of food, and I would disappear the rest of the day. Like I'm watching football the rest of the day. So it's that deep. Coming forward with the platform, as I mentioned, Scoop Center. I'm going to upload that by the end of this week because I'm terrible at trying to go on live. It just doesn't work later in the week. So we'll do that. Speedy, what's coming up for you, man?
Nothing. Just keep doing the show. Keep going live with the guys. The Geek Culture Congress podcast on the Speedy's Multiverse YouTube channel. We try and do it every Monday. We changed it up on Tuesday, and I think I might do it every Tuesday now. But I haven't committed to it yet. I don't know. We're trying to be flexible. Trying to be like water. So I talked about James Gunn taking advantage of being in New York Comic Con instead of trying to be in San Diego and and upstage Marvel. And I have my, the comments are getting juicy, are getting dicey. I should get used to this too.
Yeah, you definitely.
I was like, man, I need to talk more about James Gunn. This is the most comments I ever got.
Hey, even when I'm like positive Gunn, people are like, "Oh,
yeah,
how dare you talk about Gunn?" It's like it's both ways. Like,
no, I try to get that. Restore the Snyderverse, and all that stuff. I was like, okay, yeah, but I agree, but I just
that is funny. I swear,
something simple.
I did a video. I was like, because at times I hear from different sources and stuff, and right now with DC, I mean, it's mostly Gunn, folks. I don't know. I can't help it. That's after Cavill was done. Like they're doing this now, and so I still hear the information. So I put out like Gunn was thinking about. It was something with Batman, and I was getting like spammed like with all the hashtags. I was like, I mean, that's cool. It just has nothing to do with it. Like this is just something separate that they're doing with DC.
Okay, I'll take the comments. Hey,
it's all good.
I need to hit an algorithm.
I'm used to it by now.
I need an algorithm wave. Help me out.
We got Critic Chris says. Haters say new DCU logo sucks. Gunn's gonna give crypto. I think he's mocking the haters. I think that's what he's saying.
Maybe.
Well, the DCU logo is literally the DC Comics logo. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's legitimate reasons to be worried. Like we talked about with Superman, like the tone. Like, hopefully he figures it out. But to be mad at like a DC logo, like, come on.
That's the logo that I grew up with. So
advocate. That's the logo we all know.
Right there.
I think it's just the connotation that like the comics logo, the people look at comics like they're goofy cartoon type comics. They have that whole like stigma to them. So if you're applying it to a movie, that's probably what they're assuming is going to be like, unfortunately.
Like comic booky, like that's that tone thing again. Like this film.
Yeah.
Maria said the red underwear on the outside is not needed. It doesn't need to be very comic book accurate.
Why did he make the underwear so like long? It goes up to like his waist, like from the 50s or something. It's giving George Reeves.
Well, it's not an official picture. Well, I guess it is an official picture. We saw behind the scenes.
Wasn't he the one that posted it? Somebody from the team?
Off on set. We saw the trunks. I mean, maybe movie magic will help the trunks. I don't know. Like,
I don't know.
It's a story reason.
That's what we're gonna see.
Hey, everything's riding on that, man. I'm telling you. Let's see. Catching up with the comments before we roll out here.
We're doing the watch party on Danny's channel tonight.
Yeah.
Danny's channel. Yeah. You gonna be there, Speedy?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'll be busy.
Speedy never lets me down.
No comment. I'm not going to give a comment right now. But with as Carlos said, NBA, NFL, let's go. NBA season has started, so that's another reason for me not to make any of Danny's streams. Just play it.
Jerk.
but we are covering on the Night Views podcast channel. That's links in the description. We do our Sunday night recap show of football, now basketball as well. And probably a little baseball. Speaking of baseball, I may have an update on some baseball coverage. I got to make sure it works out. I don't want to say it out loud yet, but we'll see what happens with the World Series coming up with baseball. And then I have my Still Up to a Sports channel also. I do stuff on there. So links in the description there. CCXP should be a DC show. That's this December. Y'all familiar with CCXP?
Nope.
Brazilian?
Oh, yeah, Brazil.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big show.
Huge. Brazil has a lot of fandom.
Yeah, they love DC. So
Muito bem, obrigado. That's the only Portuguese I know. Muito bem. It means very good.
Oh,
obrigado.
I don't know
any. Obrigado. Thank you.
I barely know Spanish, and I'm Mexican, so.
Hey, you said it.
Yeah.
Maria says, "Go Yankees, go Jets." I'm probably the opposite.
Why
I'm
are you on
sorry.
the West Coast team? You have nothing to do with the West Coast team. Like I don't understand.
I am a Cardinals fan, so I do
about
not have a dog in this fight.
I just don't know
I'm
where the
gonna
Rays are going to
enjoy
play
it.
now that the roof of the Tropicana field has been ripped apart by a storm.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
gonna, wow, that's deep.
The
I'm
change.
going to enjoy the World Series. I mean, it's going to be just, everyone's going to be watching it, that's sports fans. So I'm watching it for just the excitement. But I'm maybe leaning towards the West Coast. That's all. Just maybe,
Whatever. So
maybe the city understands.
I got you.
Maybe the city understands. So, I'm just looking at the numbers. That's all. Just what's adding up and what's not.
What do you know about baseball?
Are you going to cover the World Series on the Night Moves? Huh?
I mean, we may. I may have some segments coming out about it,
Right.
especially if the Dodgers win. No, it's fine. But it should be fun to check out. But we're gonna slide on out of here again. Everyone's links is in the description. And of course, follow Jules on Twitter. Just unless you're a Dodgers fan, don't follow her on Twitter.
Yeah,
but
don't follow me.
It could have been worse. The Mets could have won, and you wouldn't know what to do with yourself.
Oh,
Be
that
going
would have been
across
so
town every
boring.
that
weekend.
was
That would have been really
unnecessary,
boring.
Speedy.
Wait, you're saying
unnecessarily
what did he say?
You be going across town every weekend. You
The
know
Mets would have just been a waste of time. I'm sorry. I'd rather
That
have
would have been so
a
boring.
challenge. Like
It would have been like a David versus Goliath thing. That would be an interesting World Series.
It's gonna be a repeat of 01. Like we don't need that. Like let's we want the heavy hitters.
Hey,
We want
the
the-
I
80s,
would've
the 80s
hated
were
that.
coming back. Okay, we got the Voltron movie, the Mets were on
Yeah.
the move. You know what I'm saying? Got the Gundam TV show on Netflix. Come on, the
They
80s
do?
are back.
Oh, maybe
Yeah.
next year. Maybe next year. But we're gonna
Probably
slide on
not.
out of here. Much love to the panel. Appreciate y'all in the chat as well. Still Nation. Make sure you subscribe and notifications on. I'm gonna pop up again soon. We out here.
To Still Nation. Stay tuned.
Still Abdul ink to speak true as he bring the news. Coffee talk, stay brew, kick back, get real comfortable. Here to stay, no on delay, make sure I be's informed. On the road, on the go, playing ball on that pavement floor. It's the lifestyle right now, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Guaranteed all week's going to always be on time. That's my word, y'all heard from Il Divino Vega's mouth. What's the worth much more than what these networks talk about?